Hi, I'm Nancy Kaplan. In this segment, I'm going to talk about the least pleasant aspect of position management and indeed human resources administration overall, workforce reductions. For those of us who want jobs in the public sector, the unfortunate news is that federal employment is on the decline. According to federal data, government agencies made fewer than 90,000 new hires last year, which represents the smallest number of hires in 6 years. That trend is likely to continue this year due to the forced budget cuts that have been imposed through the budget sequestration that began in March. On the state level, the workforce is also shrinking, with a loss of about 40,000 jobs between March and August. Interestingly enough, local governments added 49,000 jobs over that same period. According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, the most common reason for workforce reductions in the public sector is poor economic times, like the Great Recession of 2008. Of course, economic downturns do not affect all states and municipalities equally, which could explain for the rise we've seen in local government employment. While the economy is the most important factor behind the decline in government jobs, there are other considerations at play. One of these is technology, which sometimes eliminates the need for a position, such as one in secretarial work. Another consideration is ideology, because some people and the elected officials that represent them want to reduce the size of government so as to reduce income taxes. Regardless of the motivation, there are numerous ways to approach the goal of reducing a workforce. On the milder end of the spectrum, human resources departments sometimes cap the size of a workforce, impose hiring freezes, or offer buyouts to entice some employees to leave their jobs voluntarily. When governments want to achieve substantial workforce reductions more quickly, they often impose layoffs or reductions in forces. On the federal level and here in New Jersey, there are rules about how such layoffs can be conducted. In any government, layoffs typically involve bumping rights, where decisions about who keeps their job depend on who has been with the agency for the longest. Another way to achieve quick cost savings is by reducing pay and benefits. Sometimes this is achieved through job furloughs, unpaid job furloughs, or a reduction in the number of paid holidays. A reorganization of an agency or department is also a path that is sometimes chosen by governments that want to save on personnel costs. But at least on a federal level, this option has a poor track record in terms of delivering cost savings. There are more draconian steps in approaching workforce reduction. These include eliminating entire programs, privatization, and outsourcing some government functions. One well-known example of privatization was the creation of the U.S. Postal Service in 1971. A good example of outsourcing is the U.S. government's use of private contractors to work in Afghanistan and Iraq. Given the trend towards smaller government, those of us seeking government jobs are going to have to be extremely well prepared for the jobs we pursue and do whatever it takes to achieve great results once we're there.